Hey there, Tanner from Tan Man's Bike Builds here. Today is an absolutely beautiful day. So what better time than to not break in that pocket bike? So there's quite a bit of snow still, so I'm just gonna take the bikes, bring them to the shop and let them de-thaw and do it in there. So I'll get them unburied and yeah, load it up in the truck and we'll head over there. Bikes are all loaded up and just heading to the shop now. Okay, so before we get into the break-in procedure on the 70cc big bore kit, I just want to see actually if I can get this one running again, because everything is here on this bike, so maybe I should get another parts bike and use that for parts, because all I need is another muffler, because the muffler on this bike here before has just been mangled. Tried to weld it back on, it just keeps breaking. So yeah, now that I got everything put on this engine, I don't even want to try and start it with this loose like that. That's just no good. Dangerous on that part of the head there. So yeah, I do want to see if this thing will get going, and then I'll pop the muffler off this one, swap it over, and then we'll get the first start up on this one here. So I'm just gonna have to rob the spark plug cap off the 70cc quick, and then looks like I just need to route this back onto the carburetor, throw some new fuel in there, and see if after all this time if I can get her going again. It has been about 7 months. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop the spark plug off and be sure that I got spark. Lots of spark. So this fuel line actually looks like it must have ran to a fuel filter and then was ran to there, because I can't get it to, like, that's as far as I can get it down. I can't even get it close to getting onto the carb, so I'm just gonna replace that line, put a longer line on there. Should do it. Okay, fuel lines all changed. Wasn't too bad at all. I just had to pop that off and then scratch this away, take these 4 bolts out, pop that off. There we go. Now I noticed in this one the tank is way smaller than in the other pocket bike, so I was happy I did it on that frame. They're a bit different too, so. Very small tank. Just put a bit in there. So the petcock doesn't seem to be letting any fuel through. So either the gas tank is plugged in the tiny little hole, or I gotta tear this petcock apart to see what's going on there. So I'm almost certain it is something to do with the petcock because it is leaking fuel steady. So, I mean, it does look plugged. So I might actually have to clean that carb, but I'm still gonna try and pull it over and see what happens. Choke. I don't understand how this is happening, but it's clearly not taking any fuel, but it's running fine. I don't know if that's old fuel chilling in the carburetor it's running off of, but fuck, it's running good. Well, I think with that being said, I'm definitely just gonna pull this carb apart, see if I can maybe fix that petcock, because clearly it's not letting fuel in, because it did start jumping on me there and running out of gas. So that must have been fuel that was in there from months ago, and it still ran. So I think that's a sign we'll keep it, and we'll get another parts bike and have two going. Time to move on to the 70cc. Get this guy broke in. We can get some ripping into this. For me, it's the next day. I just wanted to let the big bore pocket bike de-thaw overnight, because it has been sitting out for months and months out in the cold. So now it's 100% room temperature, that I feel a little bit more safer about breaking it in now. So where we left off, I just needed to pull this shitty muffler off, and throw this guy on there. Still got a good bracket. It's nice and quiet as we've seen, so. Okay, so now, I already got her loose. Got the old muffler off. All right, time to get the other one on there. Okay, I got everything pulled off the yellow bike, and I'm just gonna put it all on this bike now. Now the exhaust bolts that came off the other bike, these washers right here are all flattened right out, so I'm gonna put some new ones on so they get a proper torque. Over time, being on the exhaust manifold right there, they get a lot of heat, so they just flatten out and don't do anything after a while, so. Okay. Okay, now these don't line up. Manifold's tight all the way around, nice and good seal. But we don't line up at the back here, so I'm just gonna run a wire for now, and that should hold it. I'll eventually weld this, or maybe I can actually bend it up and get it to meet. I'm gonna put this other motor mount on. Maybe not. Yeah, I don't think that's happening. I don't think that's a big deal. Whatever. I think I'm also going to check for spark on this one just to double check. Something to do. just gotta throw some fuel in the tank and then we're good for the first startup here. I am running 32-to-1, being that this is a fresh motor and, well, it's big bore too, so being rebuilt. Lots of oil to lubricate the cylinder and piston. Fuel is flowing. Very nervous right now. I'm gonna try without choke first. Holy, that's a lot of compression. I'm gonna get fuel to that tank. Holy fuck, that's a lot of compression. Try choking it. We're leaking gas now. Something sounding pretty rough in there. Try that again. To me, sounds like a flywheel. Okay. That was the first run. Those rings definitely seem to seat after I gave it a good few blips on that rim there. But that flywheel is being noisy. So I'm gonna tear this off and see what the hell's going on. Maybe